This video is part of a series of video instructions on the BioGrace greenhouse gas calculation tool. This is instruction 2.11, use of the co-digestion sheets. Actually, there are two BioGrace tools. There's BioGrace 1 for biofuels and BioGrace 2 for electricity, heat and cooling from biomass. This instruction is on the use of the co-digestion sheets of the BioGrace 2 Excel tool. In case of BioGrace 2, for biogas from co-digestion of substrates, the mass balance approach does not apply, as is explained in the BioGrace methodological background document. Possibly in the future, after the update of the RED Annex 5, this will also be the case for BioGrace 1. Until then, the sheets described in this instruction cannot be used for BioGrace 1. All information is accessible through www.biograce.net. The BioGrace 2 Excel tool contains 3 pathway sheets on co-digestion. One sheet that can only be used for the purpose of calculating a new default value for the production of biogas or biomethane in case they stem from co-digestion of a combination of the following substrates in the biogas plant: maize, wet manure and/or biowaste. The calculation implements the formula presented in the staff working document and the GRC report. See also the About sheet of the tool. Please note that the calculations only serve the purpose to derive a new default value. They cannot be used for the calculation of actual values. Actual values can be calculated using 2 separate sheets. One sheet on the production of bioenergy from biogas from a combination of any biomass feedstocks, and one sheet on the production of bioenergy from biomethane from a combination of any biomass feedstocks. For more information on the calculation rules related to these sheets, please have a look at the document BioGrace 2 calculation rules. Let us look into the use of the co-digestion default sheet. If you want to calculate the default emissions for biogas of biomethane in case they stem from co-digestion of a combination of maize, wet manure and or biowaste as substrates in the biogas plant, you first fill in the description of the process by using the drop-down boxes in the pathway sheet. The description includes 3 types of information. First, on the final energy carrier, either biogas or biomethane. In case biogas has been chosen as final energy carrier, provide the type and origin of the energy used in digestion. If biomethane has been chosen as a final energy carrier, specify the upgrade process. And finally, supply the type of digestate storage. Then, provide information on the actual feedstock share and the moisture content of each feedstock used. After this, in case of biomethane as final energy carrier, the emission factor is calculated here. In case of biogas as final energy carrier, an extra step is needed. Fill in the general settings box. In this box, you should provide information on the final energy produced, the main type of output, and the process efficiency associated with the final conversion of the pathway. Then, the total greenhouse gas emission reductions are calculated in the results box here. The 2 additional sheets on co-digestion are built in the same way as other pathways for the production of either biogas or biomethane, except that they are especially designed to calculate greenhouse gas emissions from co-digestion, so for a combination of 2 or more feedstocks. Therefore, the next step-by-step description will focus on the first steps of these sheets for calculation of greenhouse gas emissions from upstream and from transport of substrates. Let us look into one of the co-digestion calculation sheets, for instance the sheet on the production of bioenergy from biogas from a combination of any biomass feedstocks. The data in the results section here are calculated after filling in the sections below. First, describe the upstream greenhouse gas emissions related to non-waste feedstock. The description includes 5 types of information: the type of substrate, the amount of substrate, the upstream greenhouse gas emissions per kilogram of substrate, the moisture content, and the lower heating value. If applicable, fill in the data to calculate the CH4 and N2O emission credits for manure. The application of these credits is explained in more detail in the BioGrace methodological background document. Then provide the overall biogas yield here. After this, provide information related to the transport of all substrates, even for waste biomass. Do so by selecting the most convenient truck type from the drop-down list here and specify the distance of transport here. Finally, complete the rest of the sheet as for any other pathway for the production of biogas or biomethane by filling in the data on anaerobic digestion, biogas CHP, etc.